Hey everybody, Jeremy here. And before I get into this video, let me just say that if you make YouTube videos, you've probably been in a situation where you had it all planned out, you made the video, you're feeling good about it, and then you realize, I forgot to hit record. Well, in this case, that didn't happen to me. Instead, I forgot to turn up my recorder, so everything I said was completely silent. So this is take 2 of this haul video. So over the past several months, I've acquired a lot of different figures, and many of which I had plans to review on this channel, but for one reason or another, I just never got around to doing that. And now it's been so long, I'm like, well, it's too late to actually do a review, but I decided I'm gonna show you anyway. So just like the toy haul days of old, got a lot of things that are still in the box too that I haven't opened up. So before we get to those, the first figures that I want to show you are actually on top of that black shelf behind me. Now, those are 4 Godzilla figures because for some reason I got on a NECA Godzilla kick for about a month. Maybe it has something to do with NECA no longer making those Godzilla figures, but I just decided, hey, I just want some of them. The first one that I got is that sort of derpy looking Godzilla because he just looks like a fake puppet, and I thought that one was pretty cool. But then I started seeing these other ones, the Godzilla that's on fire, and then the one that has like lightning paint job on his chest, and then this other one that's a really freaky looking Godzilla with his mouth wide open and the beam coming out, and I just had to get those. So those down the top of my shelf. I'm not even a Godzilla fan really, but those are the first figures that I wanted to show you. Now let's look at some of the unopened ones. So this first one is pretty basic. You can find it pretty much anywhere, but I wanted to add it to my collection from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. This is the White Knight Batman. Other figure in this line is a Joker, also from this line that I don't have, but I got this from Walmart.com. It was part of this thing where if you wanted to get next day shipping, add a little bit more money, and I'm a big fan of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, and I wanted to get this Batman simply because he looks so much different than any other Batman that I have that's currently on display, and even some of the ones over here that are not on display. And it's one of the good things I like about McFarlane Toys in this particular line, and how I'm not upset that he keeps coming out with different Batmen because they are so different from each other. And it just kind of goes to show you about Batman's legacy. There's so much going on. And now I'm kind of insecure and I want to make sure that I am recording myself all the time. But anyway, there we go. White Knight Batman. That's the first one. Also from the DC Multiverse line I got at a Walmart at the same time where I picked up the Ninja Foodie oven is the Dark Knight's Metal Earth 44 Batman, also known as Murder Machine, if I'm not inaccurate on that. And you can just imagine, I haven't been doing a lot of in-store anything since March, but in the few occasions that I have gone into a store, a department store, I've gone into the toy section and I have not really found anything that was different. But in that Walmart, they had this, and it felt good to just go into the store and just kind of get that toy hunting monkey off my back, so to speak. But they had this here, and I think he was a little bit less than usual. I was hoping that they would have the rest of them, like Devastator. You can't find that thing anywhere. But yeah, very different. Evil Batman, I think he's pretty cool. He will be up there joined with the rest of the figures. Now, another one that is pretty old that I always wanted to get, but pre-COVID, I was never able to find him, but I did manage to get him online when he did come back in stock, and that's from the Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lord Dragon. Of course, evil Tommy, who's been killing the Rangers and brainwashing Kimberly into the Ranger Slayer. And it's one of those things where, of course, I was a big fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but as I got older, I wasn't thinking about that stuff anymore. But then when they bring back nostalgia like this and just turn it on its ear in a whole nother crazy storyline, and Tommy not only is evil again, but he's crazy, ridiculous Sith Lord evil, I wanted to get it. He looks cool. He will go with the rest of the Lightning collection, which is currently in a big pile on the last shelf back there because my kid got to my figures and she took everything off of the shelf and I don't know how to stop her. Now, going back into Walmart and the stuff that I got from Walmart, of course, I had to get the Back to the Future line because I already had Tales from Space Marty. I already had the original 1985 Marty McFly, but this is the Marty McFly from 2015. So yeah, let me open them up. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before, but you got the hoverboard, you got all the accessories here. Still not really a big fan of the face sculpt on Michael J. Fox here. He just looks a little strange. He looks like his face is too smooth. He looks, I don't know, too young. Maybe like he had some work done or something. I don't know. Was never a huge fan of the way that his face sculpt is for any of these figures, but is what we got to work with. I really do love the fact that it comes with the Pepsi Perfect and the hoverboard. It's really good stuff. And we got one more figure from this line that's not out yet, and that's Doc Brown. I'll be getting that as well whenever it becomes available. And just kind of keeping in that Back to the Future vibe, of course, I had to get, you have no idea what this is unless you look on the back. This is the Ultimate Biff Tannen. And I love the fact that they decided to go with the gray sports almanac box. If you weren't a Back to the Future fan and you just sort of saw this and that sticker wasn't there, you wouldn't know what it is unless you opened it and studied it more. But you're a Back to the Future fan, you know gray sports almanac. Let's take a look at Biff Tannen here, 1955. I do like Biff's face sculpt, especially the default one. I think it really does look like him. It looks great, and it's also great to have a little mini gray sports almanac right there with them as well. I think NECA did a good job just by looking at it without touching it. I like the way it looks. I think it looks great. Now, let's continue with some NECA stuff. Here is the Terminator 2 Judgment Day Sarah and John Connor 2-pack. I saw a lot of different toy videos where people were just finding this on the shelf, and they find it so often they don't even want to mention it anymore. And the few times that I went into Target to try to look for stuff like this, or just look around since I was there for something else, never ever saw it. But I did manage to get it on Target.com, and I saved a little bit of money on it as well. I've had this for a while, just never opened it up. I love this box. I'm not a huge box person, but sometimes you come across a box that looks so cool, you don't want to throw it away. And that's kind of how I feel with this. So here it is. A lot of cool accessories here, especially that endoskeleton hand. Love that. And that's really the reason why I keep that skeleton up right there, even though it's not Halloween anymore, because he's kind of like that smoky black and gray, and he's got those red eyes. It reminds me of a T800. That's why I keep him up there. Closest thing that I'm going to get. Speaking of a T800, here's something else that I picked up from Walmart, the Tech Noir Terminator from the first movie. I don't really remember much from the first movie. I'm a Terminator 2 Judgment Day guy. And then, of course, I saw the other ones after that, but we're not going to talk about it. So this was on the shelf at Walmart. Take a look at it. And, of course, he looks pretty cool. Only figure I have from actually, that's not true. He's the second figure that I have from Terminator, because the other one that I have that is opened up is this one. Now, I believe this one was the police station assault Terminator figure. He comes with some different head sculpts, all battle damage and everything. He comes with different weapons. I got this from Walmart.com, and I'm not sure if it's still available or not, but this guy looks pretty awesome, and I got him. So those are all of the unopened figures that I have. But I'm going to be doing another video after this, because I did manage to get all of the figures from the DC multiverse line, where you could build up the Build-A-Figure for the Merciless. I had to remember what his name was. So that includes the Robin, that includes the Batman Who Laughs with Wings, the Infected Superman, and another Batman. I got those when they first came out. I was going to do this whole thing about it, but then I never did. So I'm going to do one video showing you all of those figures, including the Build-A-Figure for the Merciless, which, there it is. That's kind of like what he looks like. He's in a weird pose because my kid got to him and she took him out of the pose and she took the sword out of his hand. But I'm going to show you this. I'm also going to show you the other figures that come along with it, because that is a very, very good thing. So I think that's just about it. Oh, you know what? No, I just looked. There's one more thing that I want to show you. Not toy related, but still pretty cool, I think. Hang on. If you're a fan of wrestling, then you will like this. Bam! Look at that. You know what this is if you're a fan of wrestling. You know at least what it looks like. So this is Hardcore Socko, or you can call him Mr. Socko. We all know Mr. Socko from Mick Foley, the most ridiculous, but yet for some reason super, super popular thing that he did when he was wrestling. So that's what it looks like. This was on sale for a limited time, I think at Pro Wrestling Tees, and it's got Mick Foley's autograph right there. And then it also came with this certificate of authenticity, also with Mick Foley's signature there. Guys, it was a $25 sock. Basically, it's a $25 sock, which is absolutely ridiculous. But if you're a wrestling fan like I am, especially 90s WWF, WWE, then yeah, I kind of had to. I couldn't help myself. This is what we do in these times. It's like retail therapy. But anyway, those are all of the things that I have purchased over the course of many, many months that I have not shown on camera, and they will find a place somewhere around here. So that is it. Thank you all so much for indulging me, and stay tuned for that video showing off all of the figures and the Build-A-Figure for the Merciless from the DC Multiverse line, and then some other stuff that I have no idea what I'm going to do after that. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, I'm Jeremy. Talk to you later.